Hey everyone, welcome back to Bear's Workshop. In today's video we are going to do an unboxing and assembly of a Delta 36-725T2 table saw. So this is my first table saw that I've ever had, believe it or not. So let's get to it. Before we unbox this, I just want to make it clear that besides never having a table saw before, which I know is odd for a workshop, but we were working on another project, making one of those American flags, and we really needed better cuts of wood than what we could get at the store. So I was left with no option to buy a table saw. Home Depot's kind of suck. They're all like little mobile ones. I went to Lowe's because I was looking for different wood that Home Depot didn't have, and I saw this one. It's the most expensive, it was the biggest, so naturally I bought it. So here we are. I don't know much about table saws. I can't tell you like what's a good RPM, what all these accessories are, but we're going to go over them together. But I just want to make that disclaimer, I don't know shit about this. So please bear with me, but we're going to do this together and we're going to learn a little bit. And you'll get to see what this table saw looks like. And we're going to cut a couple of pieces of wood that we need for our other project, and we're going to see how it works. 10 fingers, I'm starting with 10 fingers. Let's see what we end up with at the end of this video. So keep in mind, I bought this only because it was the most expensive and the biggest one. So remembering that I don't know really what I'm getting myself into because I don't know really what I need and what's good and bad on table saws. Like I said, biggest, most expensive one, so that's why I bought it. Just real quick, a couple features that says on the box: T-square fence with 30-inch right rip capacity. Not even really sure what that means. 15 amp induction motor belt drive is smooth and powerful. So those are the two of the features on the top. This is a 10-inch contractor table saw. On the sides here, we've got number 1, oversized lockable on-off switch for added safety. Tubular stand with easy lift caster system, assembles easily, requiring fewer parts than traditional contractor saw stands. It provides a solid foundation during operation. Number 3 is the T-square rip fence Delta professional grade 3-point locking rip fence. Ensures the fence will be precisely parallel to the blade, providing smooth, clean cuts accurate to 1/32 of an inch. That'd be nice. Onboard storage for easy storing blade guard, driving knife, push stick, and blade. Extra blade not included. There is an arbor lock that's not pictured. It holds the spindle stationary for quick, easy, single wrench blade changes. And number 6 is the integrated dust collection system, also not pictured. 2.5-inch shrouded dust port easily connects to a dryback system or dust collection system, which we don't have. Also, the last thing I didn't mention is this has a 5-year warranty. So now that we've gone over all the features, let's go ahead and open this up and see what's inside. All right, we opened up the box. This is what we have. We got the instructions right here, which is obviously the first thing we're going to go through. Just because I'm ignorant to what everything is. Obviously, this is a guard, and this is part of the table saw table. So I will go through this. We'll just do this in fast motion because it's not that interesting, and it shouldn't be that complicated. If there's anything weird about the install, I will tell you about it later. But it comes with a quick assembly guide. We're going to quickly assemble this. It's going to be very quick because we're going to do it in fast motion. So we'll just go through this. We'll get this assembled, and then we're going to go over the pieces and cut some wood up and see how it works. So we're just going to start pulling everything out now. Here's the reset button right there for the motor. This is just the underside of everything. This looks like the blower tube for the exhaust, for the dust. We've got some gears here. I can see something have a problem with that in the future, but that's where you look. This is lubed up, looks like it's got lithium grease on it. But I just wanted to show you the bottom half of the saw. Okay, as you can see, we've got the table saw fully assembled now, and what we're going to do is a couple of cuts to see how it works. I have yet to turn this on, so we've got the cord right here. We're going to plug this in, turn it on, and hopefully it works. And we're going to rip some 8-foot boards. Actually, we're going to cut them down to about 37 inches first, because that's what I'm looking for, and then I need to make them about 2 inches wide. So that's what we're going to do first. So let's get it plugged in and see if it works. These are 1x4 boards. We're going to be cutting these down so that they are the same width as this. This is a 1x2, which of course, as everybody knows, is actually 1 in 1/2. So I've got the stopper, whatever you call it, the guard, the guide plate lined up. So that's the measurement that I want. I've taken off the guard because I need to go through and the guard will block it. So what I'm going to do is actually I don't want these rounded edges here. We can flip this over. I could use this rough side, but I'm going to give myself an option to see if I can smooth this out. So I need to get off this beveled edge first. So we're going to take off a tiny little, we're going to cut it in half first. And so we're going to put it right about there, because I want sharp edges. Like you can see the sharp edges right here. And these have a beveled edge right here. They've been smoothed off. So I'm going to cut this in half, and that's going to give me one side with a smooth edge. I'll lock this down. We're going to turn it on. We've got this, which came with it. This is a little piece to push the end so you don't cut your fingers off. And go ahead and turn it on. Next step is I want to get the beveled edge off of this. So we're going to measure this out on the original size. So this is the width that we want. I'm going to give it a little bit of space. Okay, so we're going to send this through here, and this will take off the beveled edge right here. So now here's my finished products. One was originally a 1x2, and the rest were 1x4s. One of them split a little bit here, but without knowing, it's hard for me to say which one is not. I mean, obviously it's this one because of the color, you can see that. And I probably will not use this one, but when we put these four together, doesn't that look special? That looks pretty good. It does look a lot better, doesn't it?
Yes, it does look a lot better.
Because what we were working with before, I'm not going to even bother to show you. So we're gonna rip all of these to get our 37-inch boards instead of using these 1x2s that you get at Home Depot that looks like they've had some sort of seizure of some sort. So very happy with that cut. What we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead and talk about it. Okay, so this is our original board before our cuts with the table saw. These are the four boards that we made. This is the four boards that we cut. This came out of a 1x2x8, and you can see, and these were the best boards. We already tossed some of them away, but you can see how with pressure, you know, I could probably get these three to stay in. This, I'm not even holding it. So obviously it made a nice straight cut, and I'm very happy with that. These are going to be kindling for firewood. Nothing else I can really do with this. These boards aren't any good. Okay, so we've made a first couple of cuts, very smooth on the blade. Everything went perfect as it should. So happy with that. Things I want to point out, you've got your guard, your finger guard, you've got a kickback guard, you've got a push rod that comes with it. Everything appears to work great, and I do like it. So I'm going to tell you just a couple of features on the front here. We've got a wheel to raise and lower this. This is at 90 degrees. This will cut a depth of 3 1/8 inches. That's your maximum depth of your wood. If you've got your blade you got your controls to change the blade at your angle, and if you're at a 45-degree angle, if you're turning the blade this way, your maximum cut is 2 1/4 inches. So turn it either way to get mitered cuts. So that was 2 1/4. Now, as far as other accessories, we've got this right here, your guide, where you can slides right into here. And we didn't use this, but this seems to be very firm, solid, and looks like it's going to work great. And you can also change the angle up to 30 degrees, so from a 90 to a 30. So that's pretty good. Probably pretty standard, but that's also included in it. And you've got a track on either side, and this guide plate will also move from this side to that side. And then you've got the built-in ruler over here, so you can make sure your measurements are going to what you need. So overall, it seems to be functioning just as I needed. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I will give you the downside of what I didn't like. The instructions were horrible. You get an F-. If I could give you less, I'd give you less. I've got 2 extra handles. I cannot figure out. I mean, I understand extra screws, that happens, but these handles are for this guide plate to move this back and forth, right? There's a bag with 2 of them. I don't know, the instructions didn't tell me where these go or if they're just extra, but that's not something you normally get in. I'm frozen. Okay, we're turning the light back on. Pause, pause, pause. All right, this is not something you normally get 2 of, or 3 of, because we already got one on there. I would have liked a couple extra of these because this will get lost. I know it will. The instructions, so why were they an F-? None of the screws are labeled in bags. They say go to bag B, go to bag C. You get to that bag, and some of the screws are in their own little compartments that have been plasticed together, so you got your same size screws in each one. None of the screw sizes are labeled. Like this is the 8M by 1 1/4 inch screw. They're not labeled, so you either got to measure it or you got to do something. I've bought the cheapest things in the world, and they have a little template inside the instructions where you can lay the screw down so you know you've got the right screw. This didn't have any of that. So you're looking at your screw and you're like, okay, this is the 1 1/4, and it says get the one that's M8 7/8 Torx. Like, I didn't have them. Those weren't in there. I did end up with extra screws, about I think 4 or 6 of them, but I didn't have some of the screws that they said I was supposed to have, which that happens, I guess. But then they sent me extra screws of something else because I had to use different screws in place of them. So none of the instructions were clear. They're saying find the front rail. Well, what's it look like? They were not labeled. They were labeled in the instructions. Find the first 2 the front rails, 1 and 2. No labeling whatsoever. Find the rear rails, 3 and 4. No labeling. So you just got to kind of take them and put them up there and go, how does this fit on here? Line this up. This doesn't work. Try this. Turning around, upside down. Pictures, very small. really couldn't see anything. There was pictures that said, see figure 7A, and you're looking and you're like, there's no 7A. It's on the next page. The next page has this much text, has 8 pictures, maybe 6, maybe 4. But they couldn't have just put that next set of instructions on the same page as the picture. So you're looking, you're flipping, you're folding, you're like, where is this stuff? So everything is kind of like, it's like doing a puzzle with all black pieces or all white pieces. You have to start fitting things in, things that look like they might fit in, and try to put it together. F- on the instructions. They're horribly written. Somebody wrote them and thought that was good, and they never tried them out. They should always give instructions to someone who's never assembled it before. Let them put it together based on the instructions that were created. So your instruction guy, they suck. Okay, that's probably all I'm going to say about that, because I could keep going on, but I won't. Instructions are horrible, but the table saw itself, right now, it's functioning well. Everything seems well put together. Some side notes. Underneath, there is a red reset button if your motor trips. You want to go underneath. We're going to show a picture of that. Also, on the right side from the front, on the bottom is a wheel. You can put that wheel up so you can move it around. It's a nice feature to move it around, but make sure you put that wheel back up, because it's a tripod if you leave the wheel up, and it will rock back and forth. So before using the saw, put the wheel in the up position. The other thing that sucks, no dust bag. $600 table saw, there's no dust bag. Doesn't seem like it would take much more to throw in a dust bag, at least something to catch it. So we're going to have to make something so that we have a little dust bag on the back of it. So that was something that was lacking. I'm sure there's more expensive and more beautiful table saws out there that probably outshine this, but for what I need, even though it says it's a contractor one, this is very ample for me just working in the shop here. And this I expect to last a very long time. Motor's replaceable, it appears to be, so if that ever needs to be replaced. And most of these other parts are just solid parts that are going to last forever. So overall, I'm going to give this a good rating for functionality. My 2 thumbs up. As for instructions, I can't go any lower. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, go ahead, ask them down in the comments. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, still hit the like button. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can see more content in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye.